You're watching Public Access Channel 83, WJJA-TV. Later tonight, it's an episode of Rustic Renderings. And at 12, another exciting product from the Just Joshin' Around Home Goods. But coming up next, the hit new show, Myron's Maker Shop and Movie Talk. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Hello, I'm actor Vince McLeisure, and I'm here today under contract obligation to bring you an installment of our newest program, Frowny's Fresh Bites. I'm here now with Frowny, who's come in to provide us with a tasty treat. Frowny, what have you brought us today?
What?
What did you bring today?
Jeez, I can hear you. I'm not deaf.
Okay, Frowny, what kind of special treats did you bring us?
Focaccia.
What? Frowny, you can't say that.
What? Did I stutter? Focaccia bread. See?
Oh, you're saying focaccia bread. Right.
What?
Never mind. So you brought us some focaccia bread, is that right?
Yup.
What is focaccia exactly?
Well, it's an Italian-style bread with various herbs and spices.
Oh, that sounds delightful. Though coming from you, it probably tastes like bitterness and hatred.
What?
Nothing. Let's try a piece.
Well, what'd you think?
That's very good. What is that I'm hinting? Some garlic, oregano, rosemary, maybe a bit of saffron?
Alfalfa.
No, it's not alfalfa.
Alfalfa.
No, it's not alfalfa. Maybe it's a bit of saffron.
Alfalfa.
No, it's not alfalfa. I'm telling you, I have a very strong palate. I'm thinking it might be a bit of
Alfalfa.
For the love of... You're doing it again. Stop it.
Alfalfa.
Darn it, it's not alfalfa. Alfalfa has a bit of more of an earthy, subtle, sweet flavor. This is more of like an
Alfalfa.
For the love of God.
Alfalfa.
What is wrong with you? Why do you keep saying that word?
Alfalfa.
Son of a bitch!
Well, howdy, y'all, and welcome back to Myron's Maker Shop and Movie Talk, where I love to make things and watch movies, sometimes at the same time. I'm your host, Myron Orville Rebecca Bigsley, and I'm just tickled pink that you're joining me here today. I'm fixing to paint up a toy to make it look all fancy and customized and such. Gary likes to poke fun at me for playing with dolls, but he's so dumb he can throw himself on the ground and miss. You hear that, Gary? You big butt nugget? And they're called action figures. What's that? Okay, sorry, Mama. Sorry, Gary, you're not dumb. Anyways, I'm gonna turn this action figure into... Good Lord, Gary, I can't have you tossing air biscuits while I'm recording. Like I was saying, I'm gonna paint this figure to make it look like a highfalutin collectible. Mama, he pooted again. Gary, I swear to G.O.D., if you don't squeeze your butt cheeks together, I'm gonna ram a cork up there.
Looky here.
Well, sorry about that. I swear, Gary's so irritating, he could make a preacher cuss. Anyways, you can see here I'm gonna be customizing this figure based on a classic movie from my childhood. It's that Predator. That's it, thank you, Mama. The first time I saw that Predator movie, I was like 7 years old. And it was this one night while Mama was out at her Pampered Chef meeting with her lady friends. Me and Garrett stayed home. We were looking for something to watch. I wanted to watch cartoons, but he told me that this movie was like a charming, heartwarming tale about a group of Boy Scouts who go into the woods looking for some other scouts who got lost. And while they're in there, they cross paths with this space alien kid.
Kinda like that macrame feller?
He's sad because he got separated from his family while they're on a hunting trip to Earth. And I suppose he's a little upset because all he's wearing is like this fishnet bodysuit and like a miniskirt. He's kind of dressed like an intergalactic lady of the night. Now, normally, Gary's just spouting hogwash just to get me to watch a movie that's gonna scare the poo out of me. But this time, he was 100% right. It was a thrilling adventure that taught the value of friendship.
It was directed by that John McClane feller who made that Christmas classic about the Nagasaki Tower being taken over by that guy from Harry Potter movies. You know, what's his name? Snivelin Snoke or something?
And I'll tell you what, that McClane feller knows a thing or two about making a good family movie. It stars that big guy, that Archibald Schaftenberger or whatever, as the leader of the Scouts, and he brings along the rest of his troop. Let's see, there's Dilrod, and he's played by that Apollo Creed feller, and Brad, who's played by that Ace Ventura guy, and then there's Mike and Barney and the other two. And gee whiz, those Boy Scouts get into all kinds of mischief. They find their friends, albeit without any skin. They crash a truck into an airport. Armpit shares his knife with his new friend, saying, "Stick around." And then they shoot a bunch of bad guys. You know, your typical Boy Scout stuff. Anyways, then they take this girl Amanda with them, and they set up a bunch of traps like them Home Alone movies. You know, the ones with that Corky McGunderson guy. And they get into a really intense game of hide and seek against that aforementioned predator space alien kid, who turns out is really good at hiding due to his nifty gadgets, his chicanery, and his fancy camera work. Anyways, throughout the course of their hide and seek game, the predator manages to give that Blam guy a heart transplant, and then he gives that Dillweed a high five.
Then he helps that Barney earn his knife safety merit badge.
Meantime, old Predator gets all ornery on account of the Boy Scout spilling his glow stick juice box. Mama says I get ornery too on account of constipation.
Though I don't remember getting ornery enough to remove a man's spine.
Anyways, along the way, old Omelet Swissenberger, he realizes that
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
So after he tells that amulet girl to
Get to the chopper!
he decides to pursue both his archery and camouflage merit badges by luring the predator into a trap. They get into a little slap fight before he taunts the predator to come after him, saying,
I'm here! Kill me! Come on! Do it! Do it now!
and he drops a big old log on the predator's head, and that causes him to spit up his glow stick drink all over the place. It's gross. He's banged up pretty bad, but he manages to punch something into his Buzz Lightyear computer on his arm. Turns out, he's gonna set off some surprise fireworks just before that armband's dad comes to pick him up from the camping trip. And that's it. The movie's pretty much done. Now, I've seen this movie 100 times, and I swear it gets better every time I watch it. I really like the characters, too. That Dillweed, he was kind of a jerk, and then he got nicer as it went on. Mark, he got to have him some fun. And even though that Ace Ventura guy called his friends a bunch of slack-jawed cigarettes for some reason, he was still fun to watch. And then I heard that he even went into politics afterwards, and he became Mayor McCheese or something. And that Barney guy, you could tell he was a big fan of Rambo. And he was a fan of laughing really loud at inappropriate jokes for some reason. But the best character was that Butch that was played by that Archduke Schwerdenand guy. I don't know what his name is. Now, normally he's more known for his romantic comedy roles, so it was nice to see him step out of his comfort zone for a change and play an action role. Now, for some reason, Gary thought he was being all tricksy and getting me to watch this movie when I was 7, so it would scare the poo out of me. But he couldn't have been more wrong. I loved it, and quite frankly, it made me into the man I am today. So, joke's on you, Gary. Anyways, I probably should talk about the project I'm working on a little bit, huh? So far, you've seen me do a bunch of painting, and I even drew on his fishnet bodysuit using a magic marker. And now it's time for weathering. And for this, I like to use a couple shades of this, Polish shoe juice stuff. I like to mix it up with some water and some powdered kryptonite. I like to stir it all up and make a nice little slurry and then just spread it all over the figure. That kryptonite stuff helps it kind of adhere to the figure, so then you wipe it off, it kind of sticks to it. This weathering part of the process is actually pretty cool because it really defines all the details and everything. Not to mention it makes him look really dirty, like it needs a bath. I really don't know why this Polish shoe juice stuff works so well for weathering, but it does, so who am I to argue with the Polish? Maybe they grind up real shoes and put in there or something? I don't know. We'll never know. Now for his face, I had to do a little more delicate touch, so I used a smaller brush. Because I didn't want to get any of that Polish juice on his eyes or his teeth or anything. I just wanted it to be on his skin. So I just took my time and brushed it on real delicate-like, and then I wiped away all the excess using a paper towel, added a little bit more of that Polish juice, and then wiped away it as well. And then I switched over and did the mask too. Sometimes I like to do a couple coats just because it gives a little more depth to it and makes it look extra dirty and grungy looking. After that, this figure was pretty much done being customized, so let's take a look at him all shined up. I don't know about you, but I really like how this guy turned out. I think he looks pretty snazzy. This figure has a lot of really cool details to it, and I think that the manufacturer did a great job on the oh my! Holy jumping Jehoshaphat, that startled me. Anyways, it's always a lot of fun to add just a little bit of paint and some of that Polish juice to make all those details stand out even more. And I definitely think it was a good idea to trace out all of his lines on his fishnets just with that magic marker, because I think that added a lot of nice detail too. I'd say the most challenging part of this project was probably his face here, because there's just so much detail I had to add with his eyeballs and whatnot. But overall, I'd have to say that I'm pretty happy with how he turned out. He looks pretty good to me, and he's definitely a far cry from where he started.
I'm here, come on, kill me, do it now! Anytime. You are one ugly motherfucker.
Oh, hey there. How about this here Predator figure? You like it? I know I sure do. I think he looks like one of them expensive collectibles you find on the interweb. I'm just A+D to the O-R-E how this figure looks. And you can't spell Predator without a door. You hear that, Gary? I told you I'd make him look better. Well, anyways, that's all the time we have. Heavens to Betsy, Mama, you better get after him or he's gonna take flight. And I swear I'm gonna shoot him down. This is getting ridiculous. He needs to control his flatulence while I'm recording.
And now, a quick word from our sponsors.
Oh, hey there. It's your old pal RJ here. And this here is Rustic Rewind. Well, it's hard to believe, but I've been making these rustic memories for going on 5 years now. We've had quite the adventure of the past half-decade, and I'm thrilled to announce that now you can own all 12 of my adventures in one location, RJ's Rustic Rewind. This DVD set is packed with content, ranging from all 12 episodes to over 50-plus hours of behind-the-scenes footage and director's commentary. Now sure, you could just watch all 12 episodes right there on YouTube on the playlist for free, but why would you? Wouldn't you rather see it as intended in glorious 720p on digital DVD? I know I would. So do your pal RJ a favor and order your copy today. Operators are standing by. And check back, 'cause new episodes of Rustic Renderings are coming soon. We'll see you next time.